Mobile video platform TikTok is synonymous with the latest creatives making the rounds on the internet, whether it's taking part in the viral dance trend hashtags or creating hilarious impressions of your favorite stars. The social networking app is becoming more and more popular. It's become increasingly important for users from teenagers to young adults to feel safe and comfortable so they can express themselves openly and creatively. Dean McCoubery, the founder of My Socialife, a digital life skills program in schools, spoke to TikTok about safety and privacy on the app. He joins me to expand on this. Thanks very much, Dean, for being on the program with us.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Dean, TikTok has become synonymous with the latest creatives and entertaining videos that are making the rounds on the internet. But how safe is this platform?
I think the platform is as safe as you make it, and it's really important to emphasize that point. What I mean by that is, imagine that any app that you use, but let's use TikTok as an example, is like a digital house. And with our own homes, we don't like to leave our doors and windows open, or for those that have one, to not turn on your alarm. And that's how we need to view these platforms that we engage with. If you have a public account, it's like leaving your doors and windows open. People can come in and they can engage with you. And of course, that's fun and it's entertaining. But then you must understand that you may perhaps get some bullying comments, some trolling comments. You may get some unwanted approaches from strangers, some photographs that you didn't want to see, and those types of things. So if you're private, then actually it's much, much safer. And that's the first choice that needs to be made by parents and users.
Now, keeping this in mind, how important would you say is it for users to feel safe and comfortable so that they can express themselves openly and creatively?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's no secret that TikTok is an incredibly entertaining and creative app. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the #1 app of 2019 globally in 75 languages with 1 billion active users. So it's an amazing platform. But the challenge is that if we think about it, there's a maturity level, an emotional maturity level of the users, which are largely teens or preteens, and that they can experience certain feelings by the nature of the stimulus that they're consuming, the media that they're consuming. And so that can start to make them feel ashamed, embarrassed, in some cases humiliated, anxious, fearful, depressed, not good enough. So it is extremely important that we make these right choices about what's working for us and what isn't working for us. If you love lip syncing and dancing, amazing. But if you've got a wide open account and people are approaching you and you feel like your privacy is violated, or somebody sent you some photographs, then you have to lock down those doors and windows. And the only way you can really tell is through the brain and body connection. You know by the thoughts that you have, and they connect to the feelings that you have in your gut. And some people are not feeling great online, not just in this particular app, but in other apps. Instagram, for example, is the largest cyberbullying platform in the US. So, looking at other people's lives often means that you are comparing your life. What you just want to do is enjoy TikTok for all the entertainment and creativity there is. And when someone crosses a line, shut them down.
So understanding the digital and social landscape that teens live in nowadays is not just straightforward. It's actually one whole generation apart from our parents. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I think arguably it's probably the first time in history that you can have teens and preteens that are way more experienced. If you think about previously, if you spoke about cigarettes or alcohol, the parents would have tried that before their kids tried it and would be able to give them that advice. But in this instance, kids have received these devices at the same time as their parents. The smartphone came out in about 2007 and the tablet in 2010. So everybody received these devices, both preteens and teens, and as they've got older, in the last 10 years. And there was no map, no digital curriculum in schools. And so right now what happens is, in some cases, the adopters, the youth adopters, the kids, are much more adept and apparently confident online, and the parents are going, oh my gosh. And now the parents need to teach the kids these life lessons, these life skills, these digital life skills, which is what we teach in schools, but they don't really know how. And that it is very important for us to bridge that gap, mainly not just because the kids need the school skills, but actually there's a level of secrecy that is growing and has emerged between kids and their parents. They don't like to tell their parents what's happening online because they think their parents don't know. They don't understand that they can't help them, and they'll take this thing away from them, which would cut them off from their community. It's an incredibly fascinating and complex puzzle.
So, Dean, let's now zoom into some of the safety features on TikTok. For instance, before accessing TikTok, there's an age gate measure which is available in the sign-up stage. Does this help?
It does, actually. I mean, I think the most important thing is it should help the parents to understand, look, there's a group of, let's call it experts that have said that this is, kids older than 13 can handle this. The problem is that kids can violate it. They can kind of, they can break in and fake their age, for example. But if parents have the screen time function on their phone or a different app, which is an app that allows them to only request the apps. They have to come to you and say, I want to buy this, and it pops up on your phone and says, oh, and you go, TikTok, it's 13 and my child is 9. Then you know to be able to say no. So for that age gate is very useful, but parents need to know about it.
And do you have any more tips for parents on how they can block their children from accessing content that's not age appropriate?
I really do. Just very quickly, TikTok have done a good job on this in terms of safety features, and that's why I'm trying to help them promote it. So one of the most important things is parents need to go to the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of the app, and then if they want to, they should turn off allow others to find me, which means that your child is findable in search. And then they can make it available to either friends, to everyone in the world, 4 billion people, or no one. So it keeps them very private. The other thing is we need to tell them, our kids, teach them that they can block a user if they are being mean to them. They can also report abuse. They can report videos that make them feel bad, report negative chats, and report bad comments. So we are giving power to these teens, but they don't know about it enough. Of course, some kids do, but parents need to know about it so that they can educate their kids. Another thing that they could also potentially do is to go to TikTok's safety center, which they can find on tiktok.com/safety. And the final thing is, if it's not making your child feel good, get them to turn it off for a while. They can come back to it, because when they do and they start to feel better, they realize they have choice. In digital life skills that we teach, choice is imperative. You give them awareness first, and then you say to them, okay, now you've got the information, you've been educated, now you need to make a choice. And if you make the wrong choice, you can still make a better one after you've failed once. And so that's what we need to get parents and children to realize. They need information, and they need to understand they have the power of choice to block the content or the people that are harming their mental state.
Let's expand a bit now on the aspect that you touched on a short while ago about spending time off of your devices. As you know, teens spend quite a lot of time on their cell phones or other devices. Is there a way that you can limit or cap the usage?
Yes, there is. So actually, inside this particular app, there is a screen time function which can be found within, again, if you go into that menu. So in any app, there's always either the 3 dots or the 3 lines, which is the menu. And you can go in, and the student themselves or the young learner themselves can set their own screen time. However, if parents want to do that, they can also do what's called family pairing. So now family pairing allows the parent to see how much screen time and then to be able to either allow them to have more or to limit it. And furthermore, if parents want to do that, there are certain apps out there outside of TikTok. So they can do this for Instagram, they can do this for Snapchat. It's that they could almost monitor their child's devices by using the screen time functionality, which is on iOS, on Apple. But they can also buy it on Android by the same nature. There's another app also called Screen Time. There's another app called Custodio with a Q, like custodian. And that allows parents to be able to see, oh, look, they're online. God, they've been online for 3 hours, or they've been on TikTok for 45 minutes. That's okay. And if they want, they can even limit that screen time per app. They can put downtime on the phone, so it turns off at 9 o'clock at night and they can't use it until 7 o'clock in the morning. This monitoring and this support is very important need to be careful not to police it, because what they want to do is they need to create communication. Otherwise, the kids go underground and they become secretive, and they will do whatever they can to get this access back. So it needs to be a conversation together in which parents say, well, how much do you think is okay online? And which apps do you really want? And how many followers do you think is okay? And for parents, we have a smartphone agreement on our website, mysocialife.com with one L, mysocialife.com. In the blog section, there's a smartphone agreement, which allows them, it even tells them, sit them down at the table with you, ask them these questions, and make a small agreement and stick it to your fridge or on a wall somewhere. And that's the agreement that you've got to try and stick to and keep the conversation going. Don't shut it down. It turns kids off.
Well, thank you very much.